Yep. Hello. Yes, this is the Black Conspirator, and we're talking about Joe Biden again. You know, Mr. Joe Biden's just getting in there, causing. I mean, the first few days he was in there, he was just causing mayhem with that pen of his. Okay. Now he's on a coronavirus tip. Now we here at the Black Conspirator, we keep track of the president and most of his movements and stuff like that, especially as well as this vice president and key people of the presidency. Okay, you keep up with this stuff, man, and I think you should know about it as well. Biden to sign 10 more orders and directives aimed at COVID-19 on first full day in White House. Now, his first half day at White House, he spent all day signing directives and signing stuff to cancel out most of what Trump was doing before he got. I mean, when he was in office. Now, I know Trump meant well, but my boy needed a finesse and some goddamn intelligence. I mean, the man was not all smart. But I tell you what, we're going to talk about this right now. Biden signed 10 more orders, directives aimed at COVID-19 on first full day in the White House. And that's what we're going to talk about. Okay? This is just Joe Biden. He might be 70-something years old, but that man is on a tear the first few days he's been in office. Washington, President Joe Biden early burst of executive actions will continue Thursday as he signed 10 orders and other directives aimed at jump-starting the administration's national strategy to defeat the COVID-19 pandemic. After signing 15 orders Wednesday, Biden intends to use his first full day in office to use executive orders to require masks in most planes, trains, and airports. So basically, we're going to be looking like freaking China. Okay? Basically. Order a national strategy to reopen schools and create a new testing board to expand testing for the virus. The president will also want to invoke the Defense Production Act to boost the supply of testing, vaccines, and supplies, among a range of other orders and directives. Each is a plank to Biden's plan to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, dubbed a National Strategy for the COVID Response and Pandemic Preparedness, unveils Thursday. The White House billed the strategy as a nationwide approach to combat the virus after former President Donald Trump left states in charge of things, including administering vaccine and purchasing protective equipment for healthcare workers. I mean, he's doing all this right now. I can't wait to see the rest of his time in office. I mean, how he's working right now, he's gonna get a second term. He keep this up, okay? I mean, it's simple as that. He's gonna get a second term, okay? Hold up. For almost a year now, Americans could not look for the federal government for any strategy, let alone a comprehensive approach to respond to COVID, said Jeff Zients, Biden's White House and coronavirus response coordinator. And we've seen the strategy cost of that failure as President Biden steps into the office that all changes. Science called the plan the accumulation of months of effort from Biden's team to create a strategy that will fundamentally change the course of the pandemic, and that the strategy is driven by science, data, and public health, not politics. This is a national emergency. We need to treat it accordingly. Defeating the virus requires a coordinated nationwide effort, he said. So basically, everything you see, everything you do, you want to have a mask on. When you have a mask on, you probably be going to jail. Okay, and as simple as that. They're going to be hard on this stuff. Okay, the mask protects it, the gloves protects it, the mask protects against coronavirus and stuff like that. And if you're not wearing a mask, then you're going to be in jail. Don't forget your mask at home, man. Okay, here it comes. White House acknowledged that several priors are contingent on passage of Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package that the administration wants Congress to pass quickly. Biden also has a goal to administer 100 million vaccines during his first 100 days. He laid out 4 priorities to do so in a plan to introduce last week. Allow more people to be vaccinated, create more places for people to get vaccinated, mobilize more medical teams to vaccinate, and increase supply. The new orders come after Biden signs 3 orders on Wednesday night focused on the pandemic, the creation of a COVID-19 coordinator who responds directly to the president, ending the withdrawal from the World Health Organization requiring masks and social distancing guidelines on federal property. New orders and directives being signed Thursday are 2. Now these are the orders that's going to be signed to different federal agencies and stuff like that. Direct the federal agencies to exercise all appropriate authorities, include invoking the Defense Production Act to accelerate manufacturing and delivering to meet shortfalls in equipment and supplies to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. Establish the COVID-19 Pandemic Testing Board to bring the full force of the federal government and expertise to expand testing and supply and increase access to the testing. The order includes directing federal agencies to facilitate testing free of charge that for those who lack health insurance, and to clarify insurers' obligations to cover the test. 3. Direct new studies include large-scale randomized trials to identify treatments for COVID-19 with a focus on addressing the needs of diverse populations. The order will direct federal agencies to expand their data infrastructure to increase the collection and the sharing of data to support an equitable COVID-19 response recovery. Okay? Number 4, direct a national strategy for safely reopening schools, including requiring the Education and the Health and Human Resources Department to provide guidance on the safe reopening and operating of schools, child care providing, and higher education institutions. 5, require masks to be worn in airports, certain modes of transportation such as many planes, trains, and maritime vessels, intercity buses. 6, establish a COVID-19 health equity task force to provide recommendations to the president for allocating resources and funding in communities with inadequate in COVID-19 overcome by race, ethnicity, and disability and other considerations. 7, restore full reimbursement to local governments and schools and districts up to 75% currently to support safe schools and reopening through the FEMA disaster relief. 8. Direct occupational safety and health administrations to issue updates and guidance on COVID-19 worker production. And 9. So we got a little bit more here. A lot of stuff going on here. And this is all these are signed documents, 1 to 10, probably even more than that. I think it was 15, I believe. Nope, 10. Okay. Ten, what's that called? Executive orders. Okay, you got 19. Improve access to COVID-19 care and treatment. That includes outlining steps to bolster clinics' care capacity, assist long-term care facilities and facilities for disabled, increase healthcare workforce capacity, and support access to COVID-19 therapies for the uninsured. 10. Oversee a complete inventory of the medical and vaccination supplies on hand and what's needed across the country. Okay, these are all the COVID. I mean, these are all the president. What's that called? These are all president executive orders. All 10 of them that you see on that desk and you see before the video is all listed, and this is his first full day in office. This man is not playing around with COVID-19. Okay, and as simple as that. So we're going to definitely, because Joe Biden is a breath of fresh air. I'm definitely going to keep track of Joe Biden, giving information on Joe Biden and his presidency all the way down. I will also keep track of Kamala Harris. Okay, Kamala Harris, the first female vice president. Very impressive. First female vice president that's also half Chinese and also half African American. So, you know, it's a beautiful day. It's a big relief. It's a big fresh air coming into the White House, and I really hope that you know, he gets another term if he continues working like this. For real, he get another term working like this, man. He kind of reminded me when I got in the military, man. I got in the military. I was working my I was working my behind off. You know, I was asking everybody all kinds of questions, but yeah, that's how you do it, man. Okay, you don't go become a president and the first thing you do is freaking goddamn play golf. Trump. You do this. You put in work. Make you one of the best presidents of all time. Work. This is the Black Conspirator, and we're signing off right now. Long live Joe Biden. Okay. Sorry about that. Take care.